He's one of the most effective and thoughtful and well-respected leaders in law enforcement in this country. And with that, I'll give John to R. Batiste.
Good morning, folks, and thank you for being here with us. You know, as chief of this great organization, I can't thank the troopers across the state for the tremendous job they do in providing service with humility to the folks of this great state of Washington. You know, we're in very, very unique times. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and as an agency, we've been dealing with that extensively and trying to protect our folks. And now we roll into a situation that evolves from the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You know, I watched that video, and my heart pained me with regards to seeing how that man was treated. And then I watched recently the memorial services associated with George Floyd's death, and I watched the pain and the hurt on his family's face. My heart goes out to them. This agency, we mourn with them, and for us, it's always about treating people with dignity and respect. As Chris indicates, I've been with this great organization since 1976. I have never been more proud to be a Washington State Trooper. I want all folks within the profession of law enforcement to know that we have a great honor and opportunity to serve people, to protect people's rights to go about living and hopefully succeeding in life. That's our job. And never being a part of depriving people of their rights to exercise their First Amendments. We've been traveling around the state at the request of local law enforcement. We also have been in Olympia on the Capitol campus dealing with our own protest situations. The rapid deployment force teams that we are going to demonstrate for you and the rest of Washington State today are a group of folks who have proudly served in some of the most trying times in their careers. Now remember, over the course of the last 7 to 10 years, we have lost to retirement about 700 troopers. That means we've had to hire a bunch of young troopers to come into this organization to replace those folks who are now thrust onto the front lines to deal with the things that are going on today in this state and across this country. A lot's being talked about in the form of the introduction of new laws and so forth with regards to reforming law enforcement. This organization has done a great job in trying to be out in front of some things with regards to how we go about doing business. Again, we always pride ourselves in treating people with dignity and with respect. We've been working very, very hard to ensure that we're fully compliant with 940 as that unfolds. With regards to de-escalation, independent officer-involved shooting investigations. Our folks have been involved in those and helping ourselves investigate other agencies' shootings around the state, and we think that's going well. We know that there's a lot of work to be done, and we want to be a part of that great work. In my work with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, we're talking about what can we do as a profession to better ourselves and position ourselves to a point where we can work more closely with the communities that we're serving. Particularly underrepresented communities of color, we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to not be a part of anything that is less than dignified in our interactions with them. In my work with the International Association of Chiefs of Police, it is also about doing everything that we can to modernize ourselves to ensure that we're doing things in a fashion that is representative of the profession and pride within the badge that we wear, but also ensuring that the community that we serve across this great nation is proud of us, happy with us. That's very important. But we need to find ways to better connect with those communities, listen to those communities, and see what we can do to move forward in working with those communities, but never against those communities. So I'm excited about today and being able to demonstrate the efforts of our rapid deployment force teams. As Chris indicated, these teams have been around forever. I myself was a member of these teams that had a different name at the time, incident response teams. I mean, we've had several iterations of names that it's evolved into, but today it's the rapid deployment force teams, and it's not only about responding to matters of civil disobedience. We use them to respond to fires, floods, any number of things. They stand ready, they're well trained, they're well equipped, and they're there to put themselves in harm's way in order to protect and serve the citizens of this great state, and I can't thank them enough for the great work that they do. So when the governor is now talking about introducing some new proposals with regards to reforming law enforcement, we stand with him, and we're ready to evolve and meet the changes that are brought forth by him and any of the legislative members that chooses to do so. We serve at the will of the governor and the people of this state. So when it comes to chokeholds, which are being talked about, we do not exercise chokeholds within this organization. When it comes to carotid artery restraints, we do not exercise tactics of carotid artery restraints within this organization. The things that we do when it comes to use of force is about proportionality with regards to use of force.